Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Her, the podcast that's for her, by her. And for today's episode, I brought back my Hershey's Kiss, my old chocolate melanin sister. Oh, just look at that glow. Look at that glow. If you're not watching and if you're listening, then honey, it's the chocolate radiance coming off of the screen for me.
Yes, hey, baby.
Now, you know, when she comes onto the podcast, I got to turn it up a notch. This week, we are joined by the one, the only pearl black unicorn herself, Roushelle Reign. Welcome to the podcast, boo. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello.
How
you doing? How you doing, baby? How you doing? I can't with you. I swear, I cannot with you.
You know, I have to get my guests a little hype now. Come on, especially when you're a regular, when I've known you as long as I've known you.
Jeez.
It's the queen for me, honey. It's the queen status for me. Girl, welcome back to the podcast. How you been?
Hi, thank you. I mean, I've been on the podcast in the back end of things, but here I am again in the front end of things. And thank you again for having me, Samida.
And once you start turning to a different language, if it's not French, I don't understand. But you know what? You're welcome.
You got it.
I just thought a little something. Now, before we get into it, you already know, drop your handles, your website, your business, how these people are going to run you a check at the end of this episode. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Roushelle Reign. It's Roushelle. And as long as you can spell my first name right, you will get it everywhere on every single platform. All my handles are the same, right? So it's www.RoushelleReign.com, Instagram, Roushelle Reign. I think I'm dabbling a little bit into TikTok, like they said, because this attitude and this personality needs to be everywhere.
It really does, though. It really does.
And I restarted my YouTube channel, which is going to have like so many different dimensions of me and my lifestyle. So it's a bit tricky because, you know, I kind of private. But yeah, everywhere is Roushelle Reign, and you are able to reach out to me at hello@RoushellReign.com.
See, before I even comment on your stuff, the part where you said YouTube being private, let me tell you, you can have your life out there without having your life out there.
Yeah, you need to know like your boundaries. Like
exactly. You tell people what you want them to know.
When me I tell Natalie, it's not something I'm gonna tell Shauna when we just meet yesterday.
Boom.
Right
there. Oh, girl. So you already know, you heard how to support her, how to follow her. If you want to check her out, go and do that after you listen to this episode. Then you can up and go do that. Don't try me.
Right? You have to stay and listen. Hello. Turn up the volume.
It's the gems. It's the perks. It's the one tips.
I'm going to get a glitter water and come back.
Not my glitter water.
Nothing you know about this glitter water.
I'm over you already. I haven't gotten to the first question yet. Lord have mercy.
Drop the question in for me without warning, baby.
Well, it's the question I have to ask all my guests because, you know, it's COVID. It's been about over a year and a half of this. So how have you been?
I would say I'm okay. Everybody has their up and down days. Everybody has their up and down months, weeks, whatever it is.
Yep.
Last year, during COVID, when COVID just hit, that was my like busiest time ever. Like Nat saw herself, like I was like falling asleep on photo shoots, like it didn't matter what it was, like I was doing it. I was working overtime, overwork, like just everything. So it was great on the business end, but it was horrible on the personal end. Whereas like you start thinking about different things, like what are you going to do tomorrow? What if everything really stops, right? Because as much as how stuff did stop, not everything stopped for me. Right? My work got harder. It got more because people need more digital presence. So with that on the front end, I think I'm okay now where I'm trying to find that balance because I didn't have that balance before because I'm a workaholic. This year, I really took some time to like just let it go. Like literally, I let my baby go. Well, I feel like I'm starting from scratch now. So I let go for like about 8 months. I barely did any work. I barely posted anything, barely whatever. Everything was, I just shut off the world.
MIA.
And I just, literally went MIA. I went for a sabbatical. And I think it really helped a lot with like where I stand today and how strong I am mentally right now. And it's good that I didn't lose anyone that was close to me as well, in terms of from like COVID, right? During COVID, I did lose two persons really close to me. One was my elder cousin, and I lost my mentor. And that hit me hard. Like that was really sudden. Like I spoke to her like the Sunday night and she died like the Monday evening. So it was like, whoop, right. And it's the same thing with my cousin. Like it's like within 24 hours of me speaking to them, like, yeah, they were gone. So those two sudden deaths hit me, but I think it also taught me to live a bit more. And then one thing my mentor, she always pressured me about it, like, Roushelle, live, like leave, like go do something, go be something bigger. Like she always push that. It's one thing to have, your parents, like my mom will always say that stuff too, right? But it's another thing for someone else to see your business in that aspect. You know what I mean?
It's your business and your potential.
Right.
It is something different when you hear it from a parent versus that outsider who may just met you for 5 minutes, but there's something about you that's giving me higher level.
Right. And because of that, and also because of her own like journey, like she gives, advice and tips on certain things. But yeah, it has been okay. I can't really complain. And today I thought about, why should I complain in certain aspects? And I want to take every time that a complaint is supposed to come out of my mouth, I want to like swallow it and like push through gratitude instead. So that's something I've been like trying to like nickel down on for the past year. So yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right, girl.
I'm gonna use it as a caption: push through gratitude. Why complain when you can push through gratitude? Oh,
how you been?
This sounds like a Drake lyric. Hold up. I'm gonna make note of that one. Girl, you know what? I think the pandemic's been good. We have this conversation on the side, and I'm not gonna run on too long for it, but I decided, what do I want to do next?
Yeah, that was a huge conversation for us.
That was a huge conversation because I feel like I'm at a dead end where obviously I'm working in a field that I don't like. I'm working in retail. I'm like, that's not me. This is not what I paid thousands of dollars for.
No.
But I'm like, with my field, I never got the hands-on. So no one really wants to hire someone who just knows theory.
Right.
And I'm like, the choice of going back to school to get my post-grad in public relations and corporate communications has been the biggest change and the best thing I could have ever done.
Yeah.
And me, a scholar, child, you can tell me the day that would happen.
It happens sometimes. You see, when you step into your light and when you step into your actual calling, like things changes just like that. It happened to me when I went back to school, and I was just like, when I switched from graphic design to like creative advertising and then niche down to branding, like it switched just like that. Like everything came to me. It was much easier. Yes, you obviously still have struggles, but everything came easier along the way because it's like you step into who you're actually supposed to become. And life is not about the destination. It's about becoming Natalie. It's about becoming Roushelle. It's all that becoming something there. Right. Correct.
Yes, girl. Now, I guess we haven't really said today's topic, have we? I don't think so. Now, if you've been preing Roushelle's Instagram, then my girl's a little travelista. She be zoop, 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 zoop. If you catch her, you catch her. Well, until then, she's on the next flight out. She getting flued out by herself. But okay, she's flying out her damn self. Okay, that is some queen shit right there. Now, I just want to know.
I believe every woman should do
that part. And we're going to get into that. Because my first question for you is, what inspired you to take your first solo trip?
What inspired me?
Because I'm going to travel solo. Let me travel with my mother. I'm like her handbag.
Right. I am my mom's handbag. Like I am my mom's only child. I have an elder sister on my dad's side. Right. I think it just started when I was younger. Yeah. I started when I was younger. I want to say maybe around 6, 7. My mom would put me on a flight, and on them air Jamaica flight there back in the day, when them pay the extra, right? I'm gonna look at handbag, I'm gonna look at sing, I'm gonna start going show like me, I go on. But see, I'm really young. So I've been traveling for a while, going and aunties picking me up and this and that and whatever. So I think it just kind of just comes with lifestyle or how I was raised. But then there's also where going into my teens, throughout my teens, obviously I traveled to New York alone, I traveled to Miami alone, whatever. I went to, family and stuff like that. No, my first big solo trip, but don't know what coming on my head. Right? Don't know what coming on my head.
When the patois comes out, it's going to be a good story.
I was about to finish my college degree and I just look around and I look at everybody saying, oh, I want to go work for agency. Oh, I want to go work. I mean, I said, you don't want to work for them.
Just skin up your face.
There. And I respect people who work for people. Honestly, I respect everybody. Everybody have a job to do. Everybody have a life to live.
Exactly.
Right? But I knew
not everyone can do a 9 to 5 and not everyone can be an entrepreneur.
One can do an entrepreneur. Exactly.
And that's a whole other conversation.
You have to respect them. You understand? So when I don't know what I saw. I think I saw something. And I was like, that place, they look nice. Oh, I got a song. And then I sat down and I looked at the ticket price. You know, if I ask me no more question, we're gone. So I turned to my mom and I was just like, I'm leaving. She's like, to where? To Thailand. She's like, okay, I come with it. No, stay. You're going to myself. Like, make by myself. What? Oh, I was like, you can't come visit. But me, I go by myself because at the same time, yes, my mom grew me to be independent. Yes, my mom grew me. And you know how we had them handbag. You know how them color we up. But at the same time, I wanted to have a different level of independence. I wanted to be able to not struggle, survive, but somewhere in between that, right? I wanted to be able to manage on my own without asking for help or without having this lovely comfort zone. I wanted to come out of it. So I wanted to challenge myself. That's why I ended up going on my first trip. So it was a small little battle because at the time I was like really, really like into like professional dancing same way. Yes. Like that's when I walked away from dance. So I was performing here, doing seasons, whatever. So the weekend before I left, I actually did a season at Toronto Arts Center. And I looked at everybody, I was just like, yeah, I'm out of here. And they're like, yeah, see you. No, you're not seeing me next week. I am out of here. Right. And that first solo trip changed my life. Going to Thailand changed my life. It changed my outlook on everything. My mentor and I got way closer. Like we were talking, like she's just like, you need to vlog. And I was like, honestly, I'm not the vlogger type. I'm not the vlogger type. I'm gonna let nobody know I'm there. Stop asking so much question.
No, that is true. And those people who know too much and they start to pray over negativity over you.
I'm gonna let nobody know I'm there.
Nope.
But then now, over the years, I have figured out ways to share. I figured out how I want to share where I am. I will share with you today that I was in Bali and tomorrow I'm gone. Tomorrow I'm left. You understand? So I think that trip, and then I had culture shock. Not when I went there, but when I came back. I had reverse culture shock.
Who explained
that? A lot of people don't talk about that. In the Black expat groups and stuff like that, we speak about that a lot. But a lot of people don't talk about it face to face or in these conversations. But I had reverse culture shock. Even today, I called you and I was like, I can't pay $10 for a burrito.
Yes.
$7 for a salad that could serve for me and you, my father, my mother. Like I had reverse culture shock with a lot of things. And since that trip, I spent about 5 months in Thailand for my first trip. And I did about 10 different countries throughout that 5 months. So every couple of weekends, I would go to like Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, like all of these different ones in Southeast Asia. And I was just like, these people are so flipping happy. And half of them don't got nothing, but they're so happy.
And it's genuine happiness.
Yeah, that's the kind of happiness I want. And I can tell you straight up, I feel much happier out there.
Well, we already had this conversation. I was cussing you about being a workaholic, bringing your laptop in the car to do work.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys, a slight interruption. Go ahead.
Yeah, traveling changes your life. And it's really not about, oh, I want to go in the most expensive restaurant and the most expensive hotel. No, how about you balance it out? How about you just find somewhere affordable? You know, eat at some of the expensive places, some of the affordable places, get that street food, go to people, meet people, try to speak their language, you know, learn the culture a little bit, go to here, go to there, like mix with the locals. Don't just be, oh, I just came here to do, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not interested to go to Dubai. I'll go when it's time for me to go.
Yes.
But it's not at the top of my list.
No.
You understand? So everybody has their different reasons for traveling though, and I have to respect everything. Mm-hmm. But my reasons for traveling is the culture and the food and the quality of life.
But see, I like how you said that, like you actually want to mix with the locals. You actually want to be part of the community. I'm not here just to pretty much reap off of the benefits of your country. I'm here to learn about you. I'm here to experience what you experience. If I'm going to pay all this money, best believe I want to see the ins and the outs. Exactly. I could have paid for a 5-star hotel in downtown and call it a day. It would be the same thing as if I flew out.
According to the facts. And for me, fast travel is not my thing. I am not going and spending 1 week here, 1 week there, just to say I went to the country.
Yeah.
I want to absorb, more relax, more. Oh, you go to the market and buy that. I want to go to the markets with you. Like, I like that. I like slow traveling. And as a lot of people are talking about slow traveling right now, I like slow traveling. I will go every month. I would switch to a country. Every 3 months, I switch to a country, because depending on your passport, depending on how long you can stay in countries, some countries you can stay up to 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And a lot of people don't know this. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Pay more money. I'm dropping gems.
I can't stand you. Get off of my screen.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you have to know what traveling means to you. You have to know why you want to travel, and how it would positively or negatively affect you. Because it does have negative. Like, I get exhausted, but at the same time, the benefits are just so much more.
Yes. Oh, girl, you just touched my soul.
The answer Wolipa question a while ago.
I was about to say, I feel like you knocked out like 5 questions. Because I was having this conversation yesterday with someone at work, and I'm like, I feel like this time around when I'm done school, I'm taking that break. I never took a break when I finished school the first time. I graduated the Monday, and I started full-time the Tuesday.
Yeah.
There was no even like 24-hour break in between. I told myself, this time I'm taking that leave of absence. I'm taking that sabbatical. And I'm like, I do says not no 2 weeks.
You need a good 3 months. And after the 3 months, you figure out if you want to come back.
Exactly. And I'm everyone knows I'm not the country girl. I can't with all them flies and the bugs. So you probably won't see me in Thailand.
No, you would go to Thailand. You just won't go you won't go on certain excursions. You won't go to certain places. You would stay at a certain, like, I have a certain level of living that I need, you know, like white walls. I have to see everything that crawl. In Bali and Thailand, I really push my limits. I really, really do. But I also understand that their ecosystem sits in the middle of whatever it sits in the middle of, right? It's all right. You can go to Bangkok. You'll be all right. It's like downtown Toronto. You'll be all right. It's just a little bit slower, or, you know, you just have slowness. A little bit more. Yeah. Well, I would say maybe if you go south or north, you'll have slowness. But in Bangkok, it can be fast. It could be slow, depending on your lifestyle. Like, it wasn't fast for me. Because I got everywhere. And every pan knocked me, I go, no.
Exactly.
So it really depends on you. And if you live on the outskirts, just like how I live on the outskirts of Toronto, you live on the outskirts, you get that balance. Right?
See, that's the balance I want with peace. I always say there's certain countries I want to go to, there's certain states I want to go to, and I'm like, I need to find a way to kind of mix everything. Like a 1 year
just have to find what works for you.
Exactly.
And I always tell you, like, join the groups, post a question, read, look up. If you want to go to Mexico, use a search bar in that group and look at Mexico, and people will tell you about the different areas. People will tell you about, this community, this community, da, 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 da. And they'll tell you what to expect in certain places. Mm-hmm. Granted, it's their perspective, but it helps you to carve down on where you want to go.
Yes.
So that's a huge thing too. But I know the bugs and thing, don't write it off. Kaya Jamaica and the bug, them still there, Jamaica though.
And you want to hear how I scream when I go to Jamaica and there's a bug?
Right. I'm going to scream over Thailand because I can tell you that it's the same price for the ticket for go. So if you buy it at a certain length of time, if you buy it in a certain time frame, it's the same price. So why am I
kill the bugs for me?
Just walk past them. Like I have learned, to just mind a business. Unless it's a snake, I am my business, but mind your business. With everything else, mind your business.
Mind your business. Just mind your business.
You see me battle the geckos in Bali. Like those
geckos
not doing that. In the house. They live in the house. That's complete. I don't know how it does in Thailand because I never had a gecko in my house in Thailand. I never did.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Next question. Talk about the geckos. We'll work our way up to it, okay? Baby steps. So my next question for you, well, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but how did your parents feel when you took your first trip? And what would you say to parents listening who are nervous for their children or child?
Parents listening, let them go. Cut the umbilical cord. Relax. That's what flights are for. That's what a credit card is for. If you bad a flight, the emergency flight, and fly go when she need or he needs you. Relax, right? The more it's not shelter, it's another word. Like the more you cover them up, and like that.
No, yeah.
I can't find the word right now, but the more you do this, the worse it gets for their growth, for their personality, for their evolution, right? They will always have that limited, they're always going to hit that ceiling. Give them the sky, allow them to fly. My mother, oh Jesus. So I'm my mom's only child. So my mom wanted to come all the way through in the airport.
That's always something my mother would do.
And I remember she saying to my dad, "Oh, go and go park the car," because you park at the airport and whatever. And I said, "What? Why? For go home, bye." Like, what? Well, what? But then it's not until after I understood. One, I was going to a country that is 30 hours away. 2, I was going to go live on a different time zone.
Yes.
3, I knew nobody in Thailand. Like nobody, zero. I never know nobody.
Much less the language.
Okay. So I got to understand her perspective on it. But for me, I was just like, I'm ready to live my life. Yeah, all right. I'm not dead. But then if somebody kidnapped me, then I'm gonna return to me. It's like, because I served this organ here, I can tell about it. I can tell about it. Have anyway, don't have. I wasn't scared. And I think because I wasn't scared, my mother was freaking out more. And I was so nonchalant about it.
They're gonna take away my pitney, Lord God, Jesus Christ.
Jamaican mothers are, who they are. But then she was okay after a while. And then, but my dad act like, not go on, my dad didn't even believe me until he was taking my suitcase downstairs the night before. Okay? They never believe me. Never believe me. Ticket. Never believe me. I'm gonna win. You carry my suitcase down the stairs. Oh, so yeah, go away when you come back. No, but don't have a return tickets. Book a one-way tickets. But don't have a return tickets, sir. But so no, come drop it at your post. You ask me these questions. But not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna know. So there was that. And then he was like, okay, bye. Ugly auntie, careful. You know, my dad acts all cool, you know. Yeah, man. All right, shall go. Even up to now, every 2 days. Oh, you know, call me. Sir, we just talked to you on Sunday. Like, my life. I'm not hungry. I'm good. This is I'm fine. So there's a difference. So when I'm leaving, my mom is the one who freaks out. When I'm gone, my dad is the one who freaks out. So now when I come back this time around, my mom was like, every week, you know, oh, you don't hear from Roushelle. Oh, Roushelle call you? Oh, Roushelle message you? My mom said, Delroy, all right. If something wrong, she will call.
Not your mama doing a whole switch up. Flip the switch.
But she's also worried. But she does it quietly. Right. But I mean, like, I think this is what
two of them can't worry at the same time.
No.
They're gonna go mad at each other, and then they're gonna go confine you and bring it back.
Facts, according to the facts, right? And one big tip is that, especially if I don't know if Samsung does it, but especially if you have an iPhone, for this time, because I really didn't have a plan as to where I was going and all that kind of stuff. So I'll tell you how I broke down the 2 different solo trips. For this time, I actually before I left, I shared my location with my best friend.
Yeah.
And she lives here. So she has easy access to my parents, right? Where she can track me at any given time and any given moment. Right. So all she has to do is just log in and look. So if I don't post on anything where it's, you know, I'll post on my WhatsApp. So if I don't post on WhatsApp for 3 days, she checks it. She checks where I am. Right. Or if I'm too quiet, she checks where I am. Or the post look weird, she checks where I am. Right. There's that part. And then on the flip side, the first time I was leaving, and I'm only talking about long trips. My short 2 weeks, 3 week trips, it's whatever. My first time going to Thailand about almost, oh my gosh, it's gonna be 5 years next week. Oh geez. I mean, this week. Yeah. So the first time I had everything planned. Like I prepaid for almost like 60% of my trip. And that includes the other 10 countries, the Airbnbs. Like I paid for almost everything. I planned out everything. So my mom had a copy of it. My other best friend had a copy of it. She was in the States. And yeah, I think that was it. So everybody had a location as to exactly where I was at whatever time, whatever country, blah, blah, blah. I think parents, just let your child go. If you feel so caught up with it, buy a round trip flight, only spend a week, come back at your yard and left the pitney alone. Like that is my biggest thing. And I see a lot of kids, they aren't able to see past what their parents have provided. They aren't able to see past their own city, their own country. Because they're so locked up. And sometimes it's not even the parents locking them up, it's their own mental space that locking them up. And that's a big thing. Yeah, I tell her every day. But yeah.
Not her just calling me out, but
you have to just go. Like go. I know some people, they're a bit more scared to like go further than, you know, a specific amount of flight hours or somewhere where they're unfamiliar with. So some friends, I'm like, I'll go with you. I'll spend a month. If it's somewhere I like, I'll spend a month, but I'm leaving you alone because you have to like stand on your own 2 feet. So I have a friend like that. She cannot go that far alone. So granted, the only way she's going to get there is because I'm going to go there and then she can visit. So she feels safe.
Yeah.
Right.
At least we still know you're kind of at arm's reach, but you're still far enough to be like, go ahead and walk on your own. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm not going to go everywhere with her every day. No, you're going to go figure it out. Yeah, Google Translate. Yeah, right. You're not good dead. They're not going to return you. For sure. You're not one with them one keep.
It's the return part for me. I love the reassurance.
I'm like a Britannia. Stop making nice. Or just don't make nice and say, sir, whatever you're selling, I want 50% because it's my body. That is my line. I want 50%. I want the room for myself and I want some curry chicken back. Yeah.
Curry chicken and rice. No,
so you just have to be brave, but you have to be vigilant at all given times.
Yes.
You have to be vigilant. You have to know where you're going, know what's going on. I'm not saying to go out there looking stupid and naive and giddy, all that kind of stuff. No, have fun and be safe at the same time.
Exactly.
Places like Morocco, the men are more like vicious with their catcalling. You have to be just a bit more thick skin and tough. Like, yeah. I box a man's hand like from in front of my face, like, and the manager of where I was staying, he was so scared because he didn't think I was this small. So when I arrived, he was like, "You came alone?" I'm like, "Yeah." But then he accidentally saw me in the souk, which is a market, and he was just like, "Whoa, she's vicious." I'm like, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this.
If you guys actually see Roushelle in person, like, she's not joking. She is a very, very tiny woman. And that's why I call her my big little sis, because I feel like I'm twice her size in height.
She is. Like, I probably reach like
right here. And you looking at her, you'd be like, huh? But there is just so much force and power and like alpha female. You would think she's like 7 feet tall.
Facts, according to the facts.
Yeah,
you just have to be vigilant.
That's it. Well, then that kind of ties into the next question, because what do you advise women to do before they venture on their first solo trip? I like how you're talking about the sharing locations part and the itinerary.
So yeah, share your itinerary if you know where you're going, or share your location if you want to backpack, right? The next thing I would say is buy the door stopper. I'm going to buy a different one this time, one that goes this way and locks in the thing. Yes. Because what I realized, was I in Malta? Yeah, when I just moved to Malta, when I put the door stopper under, so if somebody opens the door from outside, it makes an alarm. Right?
I've seen that.
But when I put the door stopper inside, because some countries, their doors are so low, and it's not a pliable door, like those easy finky.
Yeah,
it was hard, and the place was stone. Like, a lot of the houses in Malta was made out of stone, so it's not like I can push until it goes in. It's not gonna budge.
No.
Right? So I just found a different way in order to block the door from inside. Right? So you can do that. The lucky thing is that in Malta, I was alone on the top floor, like alone, right?
Yeah.
And I barely come out of the house, and nobody knows I move up there.
Right?
Nobody even knows. They just see this black girl disappearing and appearing, and they don't know where I'm going at all. The next thing I would say is make friends wisely. Make friends with the man downstairs in the 7-Eleven. Make friends with the girl serving you food at your favorite new restaurants. Be friends with the security guard, the people in at the grocery store. Like, there's certain type of friendships that you should nurture when you're traveling for a long period of time. If it's a short period of time, know your front desk people, right? Get to know your bellman. Get to know the girl who come and clean the room, because you never know what will happen.
Yes.
And you never know if they have a link to do something much cheaper, especially when you want to do your adventures, right? I would say my lifestyle in Bali is completely different from my lifestyle in Malta. In Bali, you will tend to have a driver. So I had like 4 different drivers. One I call Pia every day. Pia, I want to go on the road. Okay, Krishna, I'm coming. Me and Pia will go anywhere. And that was one of the biggest things for me in Bali, is that I could not find a female driver. It wasn't until I used the Grab app. It's like Uber, but like much cheaper. Like I told you, much cheaper, like $5. And she came and picked me up. And I was just like, yeah, can I have your number? Because I need you.
Yeah.
Because not everywhere, every time you want to be rolling with a guy.
No.
You know what I mean? And you don't want to always roll with somebody you don't know. So there was that. And then there was like Gide, who like I trust Gide with my life. You can trust Gide with anything, right? So you always want to have a certain level of trust with certain people, especially if they're carrying you from one location to the next.
Yes.
Right. And if you feel uneasy about something, like text a friend, make sure you know where you're going, all that kind of stuff. If you're going on some lovely date with some hot Korean guy that you found, you know, in the middle of Lisbon.
Yeah, dream about our man.
Text your friend. Let her know what the guy look like. Let her know what restaurant you're going to, all that kind of stuff. Meetups are great. I am not a huge meetup person. Like if I meet you, then cool. If we talk online, then cool. But I am not the person who's gonna plan meetups to all the expats, and I'm not that person.
No.
I will attend maybe, but I'm not that person. But it's also a great way to secure your presence in a country that you don't reside in permanently. There's one thing my mom always push is that when you're going to a country, especially if you're spending over more than a week or so, register for whatever country you're from at the embassy. So obviously my passport is Canadian. So when I go to Thailand, I'll go and be like, it's a book, I believe. It just keeps at the front and you just write your name, this, that, whatever. So if anything happens, they can check to say, okay, she logged in Thailand, blah, blah, blah. So there is stuff like that for embassies. I don't know how the other embassies do it. I can't comment on that, but there's a Canadian embassy everywhere. So you just go and do that. So that's something that my mom always check up on certain things, and she would share those type of informations with me. But I would definitely say like that tracking of the phone thing and sharing your location when you feel uneasy about something. And if you feel uneasy, just don't go. Tana your yard. Knock pana your gut. Like listen to your gut for real. You don't always have to go somewhere. You don't always have to go out. I mean, Bali is a place where everybody goes out.
Yeah.
You can count on your hand how many times I went out.
Not everything needs to see you.
Yeah, unless it's a nice little lunch brunch with me and my girl Angela and tea and those type of people. I really don't mix and mingle like outside of that, because I know not everybody's lifestyle goes with yours, and you have to be aware of that. You have to respect that and be aware of like, cool, you're a good person, but that's not my lifestyle, so you won't be seeing me like that. No. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the party scene going overseas, because there's certain things you just don't want to know. You just don't want to know. You don't want to know. But yeah, but that's those are my tips, I would say.
I never knew about the NBC thing, but I love that.
Always register some way, somehow.
What?
Yeah.
No, ladies, I feel like that's something you definitely, that's a must. Yeah. If you don't take anything away from this episode, that right there is a must to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm gonna look into that. Shoot. Now, shifting gears, we're gonna get a little nosy, because I want to be in your bag, and I want to know, what are your?
You literally know everything about me.
I really do, but these people don't, so I'm gonna act like I don't and be like, well, Roushelle, what are your travel must-haves?
My travel must-haves?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my meds, because we all know Roushelle is allergic to the world.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
So every
now this is why the organ people wouldn't want her. Too much meds.
So I would say for me, going on long trips, I always need to re-up on a lot of my meds. So always have Benadryl. Is it Thailand that doesn't serve Benadryl? I think, but they have an equivalent for it, but they don't have Benadryl, right? So like, say somebody like me is going, like a lot of the, Black fam, they will be like, yo, bring Benadryl, I'll sell you money right now, da, 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 because they can't get certain things, or aspirin, or so there's something that they don't serve there. So I always have to have Benadryl, I always have to have my meds, always have to have all my prescriptions. My prescriptions are about maybe like $3,000. Yeah. So because, being allergic to a lot of things, you have to make sure you're well armed.
Yes.
Right. Take your
better
vaccine.
safe than sorry.
Yeah, take it. And I don't always have to spend almost $3,000. This time around, I won't spend $3,000. I'll spend maybe like $1,000. Right. Take your vaccines, because some countries, yellow fever, this, that, the small stuff. I'm not talking about the small stuff. Make sure you're up to date with everything. Must have tripod. Make sure your phone is proper. So you want to double check everything. If you are leaving, especially from the States or Canada, I don't know how it goes in Europe, you want to go to your phone company and make sure that they secure your number if you're going for a longer period of time. Secure your number. So it's about like, say, $40 to do mine, and I won't lose my number at all. Right. So when I get back, all I have to do is just use it, and it just it comes right back up.
Got you. Right? Yeah.
Travel must-haves. That is a hard one. Travel light. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, learn to travel light. Learn to travel for where you're going. Not because of, oh yeah, I want to wear this cute thing, just because. If you're going to Switzerland in December, sweetheart, I'm pretty sure you don't need boom shots. Yeah. So
you're right.
Wear the sexy pants. Yeah. So, travel light, travel where you're going, pack for where you're going. I think that's it for me. As I said, the security stuff is a must-have.
That's your must-have.
Right? Bug spray. But I'm going to give you this one. I find the bug spray in Asia are a completely different beast from over here. The bug spray over here, even the smell,
it just
gives me a complete headache. When I bought one in Cambodia. Girl, we were spraying that every day. Like perfume.
Like it's Febreze.
It's Febreze. It smelled good, and it was all natural. And I think that was the best bug spray I've ever had in my life, because nothing never bite me. For days, nothing never bite me. Right? So there are those pieces, but know what you can get there versus what you need to bring from here.
Yeah.
I think those are my top stuff. Maybe there's more, but I think those are my top stuff.
Like, listen, you guys, she ain't gonna tell you the basic. Make sure you bring a shorts, make sure you bring a top, a pillow. No, these are like essential, like you need these every day to survive type of stuff.
Exactly.
All
your chargers. Oh my gosh. Adapter.
Yes.
So your plugs in the Western part of the world are completely different from the middle of the world, and are completely different from the Eastern part of the world. Right? Majority of the plugs on the Eastern part of the world is the same as Europe. So it doesn't have this thing here. It has poles, like circles. Right? So having a great adapter is good. So I have an adapter, it kind of like pops open in like 4 different ways. So it doesn't matter. You need one of those at all given times, because you just never know if that hotel has the adapters or not. That's my last must-have.
Oh, I like that one. I've always seen them, and I'm like, I wonder what this is first. And then again, it's like until I realize not everywhere you go is going to be the same.
No.
Ladies, we're giving you the gems.
Go somewhere. If you go somewhere and it's a European owned versus a American owned, them plugs gonna be different.
Exactly. Don't get caught slipping, y'all.
We don't want no dead phones.
No. All right. So my next question for you: what is one thing, or what are things to avoid when traveling solo?
I want to say being too friendly, sharing too much with people you don't know, because that can put your safety in jeopardy.
Yes.
Right? Things to avoid: drinking the tap water. Like, you don't drink tap water everywhere you go, because you don't know, like, got Bali belly. boy, girl.
I learned
Bali
that the hard
belly.
way.
Because their system is completely different from yours. What you can have, again, I am very delicate. Like my belly delicate. If my father cooks something wrong, I'm out for 2 days. Like that, yeah. It doesn't even matter where I am. If I eat one thing wrong in that meal, I'm out. Right. So I always have to be very aware of what you're eating, what you're being served, and how you're being served.
Exactly.
Things to avoid. Doing things you know you shouldn't do.
It's a very simple question yet complex because it's like,
yeah,
it's the obvious, but at the same time, it's like
have common sense. Have common sense. If you don't know someone or you don't trust someone, don't go following behind them and think that, oh yeah, it's just my friend I met at the bar. No, ma'am. Listen, him, she, it, whatever. It doesn't matter what gender you are. You can get hurt from a stranger.
100%.
Right? 100%. I have a thing where I watch the shadow that walks behind me. So I look on the floor and I see what shadow is going on. I look when I'm walking past stores, I look just because, but I'm not looking at nothing in the store. I look for who they be on me. Like, have eyes at the back of your head. In Thailand, I don't feel that unsafe. Like, I walk like 1 o'clock in the morning, forget food from 7-Eleven just because. And I don't feel unsafe. But then that's also because I have developed a relationship with the girls at 7-Eleven. I developed a relationship with the guy who owned the farm right beside, the granny who sell the things them right beside us, and the people them who are just about the place. So you develop that relationship, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand, how to prepare and what not to do.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Please know the culture you're going in. Please understand what the country does and what they don't.
That's a key point.
Yeah. If you go to somewhere like Myanmar, don't wear pom-pom shots. That is not a country for pom-pom shots. Right? I think everybody should know this by now. When you're going to temples, wherever it is in Asia, do not wear sleeveless and do not wear short up shorts. If you're, and I get it, I understand the sun is hot, it's very humid, all that kind of stuff.
But you have to respect the culture and their rules and practices. Right.
So if you need to, what you do is you bring a sarong. I don't have a sarong with me. So you have a sarong. It's like a wrap, right?
Yeah.
Or most of those places, they rent it because they understand that tourists, they're hot, so they're not going to be wearing too much. So as soon as you walk in those gates, when you're about to pay, you can purchase a sarong or rent a sarong or whatever. And you just wrap it over you, tie it, and wrap it around you and tie it, and you're good to go. But respect the people in them country because it's not your country. And them country, them not ram for Troy in a prison. It's not your country, respect it. And even if it is your country, respect it. Respect it. You want other people to respect you too.
Exactly.
I think that would be my roundoff of what not to do.
I think that's a very important one. And I remember, I don't know if we were talking about this or I saw this online, but people say research the country first.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes they'll have certain rules, laws, or regulations where you'd be like, I could get in trouble for this. Girl, yes.
Singapore and water bottles. Singapore and chewing gum. You can't chew bubble gum on the road. You can't drink water bottle like this on the road.
Right there.
So that's a fine, and I think you can get locked up. Yeah, I think you can get arrested.
Damn.
So you have to know. I think it's okay to have like a water bottle, like your water bottle.
Like a reusable, eco-friendly, right. But they don't want the plastic everywhere.
Them clean. And they want their country to stay clean.
Yes.
So you have to know where you're going in order to adapt correctly.
See, I think that's the biggest takeaway. That one right there. That's pure gems, pure gems. Now I want to dive in a little deep, going a little spiritual. Go just, deep back into your mind, right? Just whoosah and tell me, What was the biggest life lesson you learned while traveling solo? You see that? You see it? Easy to sigh and the shoulder just drop.
I'm gonna have to say, own the chapter you're in. You have to own the chapter you're in. Not because the friend that you met on the trip is spending, say, $100 a meal, doesn't mean that you need to spend $100 meals. Maybe yours is $10 a meal. That's
Don't
okay.
keep up with the Joneses.
And that's okay. Don't get caught up in things that are not for you. You can test things out. Oh my gosh, you can go rock climbing, you could go, push your boundaries, 100%. Right? But know your boundaries. You're not the person to climb Mount Everest. Me, he's not climbing Mount Atlas. However, I did Mount Atlas to, like, say, maybe a quarter of the level.
So you did Mount At.
Yeah, right? Mount Ha. Not even Hat. Ha. Right? And I was so okay with that.
Yeah.
I was so okay with that. Me not going up to the S. No, miss.
No.
It is not me.
You know your limits and your boundaries.
Yeah, I'm no limits on my boundaries. Yes, the fast car, them kind of me. Definitely me. Yeah, I think it's owning your chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be okay with not being there where everybody else is. And being there and not everybody matching up to where you are. Two sides to every story. Yeah.
I'm going to take a moment of silence. I just want people to sit on that thought for a second. Own your chapter.
Yeah.
Giving me spoken word.
Kills me.
I don't even know how to continue from that. But it's the truth.
It's the truth.
And I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if it's the pandemic or what, where a lot of people are starting to own their chapters. A lot of people are starting to appreciate where they are in life. I was watching this live earlier with two other friends, and the guy just turned 60 years old. And he's like, I'm about to start living my best life right now. Like, I've had great experiences. And like, of course, the last 60 years of my life, but there's something about this year right now where it's like, I'm living my best year yet.
Yep. You feel different.
Own the chapter, appreciate it. Look back and don't regret on the things that happened before. Use that as this was a stepping stone to get where I am now. And I think there's something where between whether you're 25 or whether you're 60.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you have now. Don't try to again look too far into the future for when you should have it. And don't think you need to have everything now.
Yeah, I struggle with that. Y'all know me. I live 10 years ahead at all given times.
I had a teacher in high school who said the same thing.
Worst pressure.
That's it. She told me, she's like, stop thinking about where you're going to be in 5 years. 1 to 2 years, sure. Stop looking at the 5 years. Stop looking at 10 years. Most of us don't even know what's going to happen in 5 days.
Ma, according to the facts.
If we wake up and see another day, we got to praise God and then seize the next 24 hours.
Exactly. And that's the same thing I was saying today. Like, forget the complaints and push to gratitude. Forget the complaints. Because it adds to our happiness and our sadness.
That.
When you complain more, you sit in whatever is bothering you more. Yeah. I would have to say, as much as how I hated the geckos, hanging out and having conversations with T and Angela and Dina, my core peeps in Bali, truly changed a few knocks in my head.
Shifted gears.
Yeah, really shifted gears on how I'm going to approach things, how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do that. Stop comparing this, stop comparing that, and doing this and doing that. Because I may be older than some of them, but the rest of them was 10, 15, 20 years older than me. And I always had older friends anyways.
So it comes natural.
I was learning, like really, really learning, and just staying there and just taking it all in, because they embraced my bigness.
Yes. They didn't try to lower, like, what, turn down your light, diminish your light?
Yeah. So there's a lot of maturity in travel. A lot. Yeah.
I always say there's certain paths that you take in life where you cross paths with people that you didn't know that you would, and you wouldn't know that you hit it off so great.
Yeah.
And I've always said this, if you check out my personal Instagram, you already know where I'm going with this story. We had a manager, Denise. We spoke about her in the last episode Roushelle was on. There is a 25-year age gap between Denise and myself. And yet, this is someone who, again, we love being friends with older people. So we learn from different life experiences. We definitely went through different paths in life. However, there's a reason why you cross paths with certain people.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why these kind of people belong in your tribe.
Yeah, definitely.
I love the idea of the African tribe, because these are people who embrace you, who love you, who want to see you shine.
Yep.
Not because you're doing this and you're far ahead than me, now I'm going to be jealous and want to spite you. No, I'm going to celebrate you. I'm going to learn from you. I'm going to respect you. And then when I get there with you, I'm going to celebrate us.
Because it's okay for you to be at chapter 5 and me at chapter 50. Exactly. It's okay you to be at chapter 100 and me at chapter 1.
As long as you respect and you have them values.
It is okay.
Don't rush the time.
I learned. It is okay.
Yep.
And it's hard to not rush. It's hard to not compare. It's hard to not feel as if, oh my God, so lackluster. Because I mean, even when like Angie and I were talking, and I'm just like, damn, I should be calling you Dr. Angela Shuttlesworth.
Boom.
And she's like, yes, but I should call you Queen Roushelle Reign. I was like, okay.
Made you think for a minute.
There. I was like, okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. You meet your people.
Yep.
You meet your people. I saw this young girl. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but these are lessons, guys.
These are life lessons. They really are.
So I was remember when I was climbing the mountain and we were doing the charity work with Pot Chocolate. We were cleaning off the hill and stuff in the village. And I'm telling you guys, met this girl. She looked so plain Jane, cutesy, sweetheart, right? And you would never think. Okay. So anyways, she's holding my hand because obviously I am not a forest person. To me, grass is forest. Hill is forest. Okay. I felt like I was going to disappear and never come back. Okay. So, and we were holding hands and I just met her in the car. Holding hands or singing or going on or whatever. Okay, you know, both of us realize that we love BTS. And then after a while, I cannot remember how she ended up telling me about her business. Then she hit me up, like maybe like 2 days later. She's like, Roushelle, are you busy? Can you do this for me? Oh, sure, whatever. I ain't do nothing. I go, this girl has a jewelry brand. She's now open a manufacturing side of that jewelry brand where she manufactures for other jewelry companies. Oh, wow. She has 2 coffee shops and there's a co-working space in one of the coffee shops. She also has a photo studio upstairs, right? That's where I filmed House of Roushelle Reign. This girl is not even 24. I think she just turned 24 maybe last week. 23. Okay. And she's so humble.
You wouldn't even know
humble. That. So humble. When we did the little photo shoot for her thing because it was a very mini photo shoot, very quick.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, do you want to go eat dinner with us? She and her boyfriend, so cutesy. I said, sure. I ain't got nothing to do anyway. I went with them. It was her aunt's place. From that day, I called on auntie. I text auntie, can you send me some food, please? What would you like, Roushelle? The family is being built that way. So I have a family in Bali, like entire family. So when Nadia and I, we sit down and we talking, and she was telling me, one coffee shop is working, but the other one isn't working. I say, it's just the location and how it's set up. Mm-hmm. Here's what you could do. Instead of pushing it as a coffee shop, push it as a co-working space with a coffee shop in it. Whereas the other one is actually a full-on blown coffee shop and you can co-work in it. The switch of marketing, within days, she switched up that marketing. Book.
Damn.
I just love, she's a hustler. Mm-hmm. I love her. And I sat there and I looked at her and I'm like, this girl is not even 25. And she's just trying her best. She's doing what she could do in her own bigness. Her own bigness. And she looked at me and she's like, I don't have the confidence to speak to foreigners because she can't speak English properly. Oh. I said, I understand you very clearly. So to me, you speak English very well. Exactly. You are fine. I will pick the words that, if you're saying a sentence and you're not saying certain words, that is completely okay. We're not all perfect. No. I'm a born English speaker, but I'm not perfect. Mm-mm. And that's okay. And I learned from her like she learned from me. I learned from her, one of the biggest things, she's younger than me. And I learned from her what a true partner in a relationship looks like. Oh no. Be okay with the chapter you're in. Yes. Mm-hmm. One of my biggest lessons. I'm telling you guys, be open. Travel more. Yeah.
That's a big lesson, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a young man. Yeah.
And that's a lot she got going on before 25.
Yep. And he's right there supporting everything she wants to do. And I was just like, and he's just like, Roushelle, it's okay. I'm just waiting for her to have kids. I'll stay home with the kids. I'm like, Rusty, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I just love all of this. I'm okay. I'll do whatever she wants. And he has the intelligence of some other side of the business. So both of them working together.
That's the yin to her yang.
Yeah. 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 And I saw it from my own two eyes. I saw them just like a flow, like a waterfall. It's like the rocks know that it needs to push out the water. Yeah. And then other rocks know it needs to keep up the water. Yeah. I know that one hit you, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this episode. Please tune in. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Really proud of her. Like, seriously proud of her.
I don't even know who this girl is.
And she's so warm. Oh my gosh.
Seriously. When you have a genuine spirit, a genuine soul, a genuine liking, the blessings will flow.
Trust. Yeah. My nails girl, my driver Pia, Dina, who I met 5 years ago when I went to Singapore, and she lives in Bali. Dina and I have been friends for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Huge. And we don't live in the same country. We don't talk every day. We probably talk every 3 months. Yeah. Huge, right? And Nadia. 4 peeps who live in Bali. Well, those are my girls from Bali. So I have, good thing about traveling, you have your segmented friends in these different countries.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. It's something. It's something.
That's
They
what we
open
need
your
more
world,
of.
you open their world.
Yep, that diversity and just you're just learning something new.
Imagine my wedding. Massa father. A beer fly.
Okay, as long as I'm upfront, I'm in a business. I'm in a business. So
It's just
me there from day one, me want front and center.
center.
Yeah, girl, right in the middle of the aisle. Watch good body, girl, that the white dress. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. Hey, that's enough.
Yeah.
Remember me say,
The things you learn when you travel opens up your heart, it opens up your mind, and it opens up your entire life. It could be something good. And I mean, throughout the travel, it has not all been good, but everything brought me to where I am right now to say, like, this place isn't for me, or this place is for me.
And not because you see one person go there and you see one person looks like they had a successful time, a successful trip means it's going to be the same for you.
Honey.
Know your limits, play within it. Know what works for you. What works for Roushelle might not work for me. And vice versa. Maybe there's some elements that would. You already hear me say, well, I go to Thailand. Maybe that's not my flow.
But maybe you only stay for a week just to experience, just to explore, but it's not your moving point. For Natalie, I feel Natalie needs to go to France. She needs to go southern France where it has a great balance of the weather. That is the type of lifestyle Natalie needs to live. You don't need to be in Asia because that's not your flow. For some reason, I do not know why, but Asia seems to be my flow. I have no idea.
It works.
It just works. Right? I have a great friend, Asia. She has never touched Asia, but South America, Central America is her thing.
That's her.
It's for me, that's not my thing. So I will go there when she's there.
Yep.
Because I don't feel like it's my zone.
And that's okay. And that's what people don't seem to understand. That's okay. Do your research, figure out the kind of person you are. Do your travels here and there, and then you realize maybe I don't want to go back there. Like you said, maybe I want to spend a week and not a whole month. Exactly. Figure out what you like and what works for you. Don't copy what you see that person doing just because it looks good.
Just because you want to say you did it. A big thing when you're traveling around, or even when you're home and you feel like, oh, I hate this, or oh, this. Write down the things you definitely want where you live. I got that tip from a group. It's to write down exactly what it is that you want. I know I want beachfront. I know I don't want close neighbors. You know, like there's just certain things I want and certain things I don't want. I want great organic food without a high cost of living. I want, you know, a good value for my money. Like there's just certain things you need to list and get very detailed. Get very detailed and go down the list. And when you stand back and look at it, you're gonna say, oh, that's the lifestyle I want. That suits me. Yeah, that suits me. Not over this, this suits me. As much as how, you know, my chest, I and everything, I know I like value for my money.
Yes, quality over quantity.
I will find that balance. Yeah, I will find that balance at all given time. Unless I'm a birthday, oh God, you can't talk to me for 48 hours. Yeah. But around that, for the rest of the children are 64 days or 63 days, you know, we need an extra couple of hours. Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
I'm okay with doing me.
Yes.
Like relaxing and doing my kind of thing. Like I am affordable luxury. I'm not gonna spend no one bag of money on somewhere I don't want until after tomorrow. Right? I want long-term value. I'm not looking for something just to post a picture and say, oh, hey, I got this. Yeah. No, because your plantain is not my plantain. I'm not frying your plantain, and you cannot fry my plantain. My plantain needs to be fried in coconut oil. Yours is vegetable oil, and I don't like vegetable oil.
Some people want them plantain nice and long. Some people want like a circle. Some people want them thick. Some people want them thin.
Some people want them green, and some people want them ripe.
Boom.
Understand what your planting is. If when you understand your planting, you stop paying attention to other people planting.
Remember we tell you?
Life, business, travel, whatever it is, just figure out what's good for you.
Yes.
And don't focus on everybody else. You can take inspiration from everybody else. You can learn from everybody else. But what is not for you is not for you.
And what's meant to be will be. Don't
And
force it. Don't push it. Don't try to, in a sense, formulate it. Because God will be like, psych, you thought. Here's what's really going to happen. And if you don't listen to me, serves your ass right.
I've been through that. I have been through it.
Mm-hmm.
I have been through it. Like, don't do it if it's not for you.
No. It's okay to say no.
Yeah. Just ease back and be like, God, I've seen what you have done for others. Please give me my version. That's what I've been saying for the past week. Jesus, I've seen what you've been done for others. Sprinkle my version.
That's another caption right there. That's number 3.
See? You learn as you go.
Absolutely. Now, I need you to talk to the girls. Okay? I need Professor Roushelle Reign. I need you to talk to the girls.
What would you like?
I need you to tell them. Speak to them like you're speaking to me.
There.
What would you tell someone who's afraid to take their first solo trip?
Like a girl.
Oh, God.
Someone who's afraid to take their first trip?
Yes. Maybe you can't talk to them like how you would talk to me. So talk to them like you're talking to a stranger.
I think I'd say the same. Like a girl. And I've said this to adults too, because at the end of the day, we are little girls inside.
Okay. Okay.
You have to talk to the inner you.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. Me still.
I find it very hard to swallow that question. But then I also have to respect it because not everyone has the courage.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand until this year. You're going to have to take the first step.
Yeah.
If it's that, like I said in earlier, if you have a friend in a country and you want to go visit that country, you can say, oh, can I stay with you for like 2 days, for the first 2 days? And then, I go on my own. That's an option.
Yeah.
I don't find planning with friends is good or easy.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be something if everybody's committed.
Yes.
Right? So if, say, you want to travel alone, but your other friend wants to travel alone, you get like a 2-bedroom condo or whatever in whatever country, and you do your separate things, but at the same time you're together, so you understand and you have a community, because some people, they can't thrive alone in an internal personal sense.
Yeah.
Need community. And this is something, again, I learned that this year. For me alone, I'm got my business. No business, nobody. However, there's other people that can't do that. Right? So you have to know what's for you and how you can navigate that. If you're prone to loneliness, then your thing might not be to travel alone long term. Or when you do travel alone, you find the communities. You have Black in Portugal, you have Black in Thailand, you have Black in this, whatever. Don't care if you're Black, white, yellow, or blue. Yeah. Find little communities. You have women expats in Thailand. There's different groups to do so, and meetups and all that kind of stuff, right? I think the biggest thing is to take the first step, and just buy a ticket. Lock your eye. Buy the ticket. Set a budget. Set a time zone, time frame. And buy the tickets. You're not gonna dead if you buy the tickets. And then have somebody carry you to the airport. Have somebody help you pack. Have somebody, have a community around you going away. Yeah. I don't pack. I have one drawer here, and I am going to put everything that I want to take with me in that drawer. And Shaniqua is going to come and pack next week. That is Shaniqua's way of helping me leave. My friends have different ways of helping me leave. Shari make sure all my flight plans are good. Sophie to make sure this is fine. Fiona make sure. So if you're scared of traveling alone, maybe your preparation needs to have some togetherness. I'm not scared of traveling alone, but I understand how my friends feel when I leave.
So that kind of gives them that reassurance for themselves.
Yeah. It also makes me share with them my process of leaving.
Yeah.
Because only maybe a handful of my friends do long-term travel solo like I do. And they're not all like here or from here, if that makes sense.
Say that one more time.
They're not here. They're not all here. Like the ones who do long-term traveling, like Shari has lived in Asia for probably like 5 years.
Oh.
Right? So she's used to certain things, but we still help each other.
Yes.
Through different aspects, right? So when I am sharing the preparation, it's like, I'm telling you, you can do this too. Like, get up and go. Like, I'll help you pack.
Yeah.
You need to get up and go. I really hope that I won't say people, I really hope that women push through and travel on their own. Solo travel is one of the most riveting things in life. You don't know if you're going to find the love of your life or the love of yourself.
Caption number 4.
Because when you are always surrounded by people, good or bad, you're going to always be influenced by them and their choices, and your own voice gets drowned out. When you're alone, it's like sparks. Your brain is working more. You're more clear on yourself. Your things are off your chest, off your shoulders. You're walking different. My friend tell me every time I leave, I look different, I walk different, I talk different, I eat different, I sleep different, and I feel it. I feel it. Imagine your life can change if you made a decision to just go.
Don't look back.
By yourself. Your mother and father not get in. Just because you leave.
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
They're not happy after a few days. They're going to say, oh, she can survive by herself. You know? You can cook. If you can't cook, you learn to cook. Drink cup noodles. You're going to figure, everything is figure outable.
Yeah.
Like you're going to figure it out. Like just have a little speck of bravery, like very, very, that whole thing with the pumpkin seed or whatever. Just have a little speck of bravery to buy the ticket. And take another step, a little speck of bravery to book your Airbnb. So little by little, you tick things off
your way up.
And you work your way up to actually going through and leaving. A lot of people are scared. I know that for sure. But fear doesn't do anything more than stifle you.
That right there, number 5. That right there.
Yeah. I think that would be my synopsis of advice for people. I'm just speaking from the heart. The heart. I'm speaking from the heart, everybody.
You already know when I have to add it to 1 2 snap in there, you know it touched the soul.
Yeah.
Me mama. Love Jesus. And you know why this hits? Because I still have yet to do my solo travel. I'm like determined that once I'm done this program, I need to be out.
Y'all, Natalie had the opportunity to leave. Like, opportunity to leave. But she wasn't ready. You got to be ready.
You have to be ready mentally, spiritually, physically. It has to align. She's right. I could have been out a long time ago, and it wasn't there.
You have to be just mentally alone will start. It will get you going because I graduated in May. By October, I was gone. One of the biggest things, as I said, your life can change. One of the biggest things I realized and why I really ended up like saying, no, man, I have to go, because the people who were around me at that time, they were great people. Oh my gosh, great, amazing. But they were doing the same thing for 20 years. Me, not like limitations. Me not like be stagnant and them things there.
Me not like repetition.
And I wanted to see what was out there for me. And then there were other people as well, like some of my dance people who they have lived in Japan, they have lived over Tessa, they have lived in London, and I was like, really? And you're here?
It's the face for me.
Really? And when I hear their stories, I was just like, I can go too. If you can go, me can go too. And that's one of the reasons why my mom migrated as well. She wanted me to have a passport that puts me, like, allows me to travel to more countries. Because my mom is very, very big on travel. My mom is extremely big on travel, right? She wanted to make sure that I can go to more countries without, like, going through the stuff of visa and this and visa that and
like
whatever,
all that TSA and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So it just got easier and easier and easier as I went along, and I realized how my mom set me up to make me do this, even though she's afraid every time I leave.
But it was part of your path.
Yeah. Provided a good path for me to go and roam the world and rollick and frolic everywhere. And now it's like every time someone sees me, they're like, so when are you leaving? That's the first question, but I'm not going to tell you.
No, but honestly though,
a few days.
I can't even ask her, so how long you stay? Nope, just when you're leaving. When you're leaving. At this rate, pepper foot.
Because you also know when you have, one, found your home, and two, when you have identified that somewhere is not your home. I've done number 2, so I'm trying to do number 1. It typically goes in that order. Some people that go on I know people who go on like a 1-week trip, 2-week trip, and they were like, oh, why does it feel like that here?
Yeah,
I'm moving here. And they leave, they go home, they sell everything, they do whatever. Within a month, they're back. And they move to wherever it is that felt like home. So it happens in both ways. But it happened in that way for me, where I realized this is not for me. And I've tried every which way to make it work.
This is like one of them like layover stops. You just pass through.
This is a good layover. I've been here for 12 years. And it has served me, and I have served it. Literally, with a title and all. I am ready to go.
And see, now this is coming from someone who I've been born, raised, grew up here. It's been 25 years here. I'm like, I need to see something else outside of, for me personally, outside of Jamaica.
And that's
where family's from.
That upsets me, like,
and New York, but same thing.
Crazy how they just always keep going home. And oh my gosh, Jamaica is like top notch, everything for me. But honey, that is not where it's at for me.
There's so much more out there.
And it's okay if you want to go back to Jamaica to live. It's okay if Jamaica is just hot. There's some people, Jamaica in the Christmas is like Jesus coming in.
Exactly. It's like you just got a lottery ticket.
Nice,
So I've heard. I've yet to go.
So much things to do. But it is also okay to keep Jamaica for Christmas time. And when you get a vacation earlier in the year, like April, find somewhere else and go. Because you're going to pay $800 for a ticket to go to Jamaica in December, while going to Paris in February is $300. And you want to know even more? Going to Greece in April is like $400, $500 round trip.
Wait, so honey, you can afford is this? Shoot, hold up.
All of the hairline them. All of them.
Hello?
You can afford to do both.
Canada Airline, Wagwan.
You can. At this given moment, I can show you the screenshot of a one-way ticket to Greece for $200 and something. And this is a regular thing. So if persons just opened their mind, open up the internet to a little bit more than just Instagram and stuff, and see what is out there, you will be stunned. Yeah. I hate a lot of people with that part. The ticket price, yeah.
After you said France, I just kind of blacked out.
Yeah.
Bonjour, comment ça va? I'm home.
Ticket to Japan was Ticket to Japan was $365. I can never forget that. $365 to go to Tokyo. From Singapore to Thailand, anywhere from $50 to $150.
Yeah.
Singapore, from Thailand to Indonesia, I probably paid about $120. From Portugal to Spain, you're looking at anywhere from $30 up. Why wouldn't you go? What is holding you back, sweetheart?
How do you say no to that? Look here, man.
Just have a little courage. Like, all I'm saying, have a little courage. Do things with baby steps. Do things with maybe somebody need to hold your hand. Whatever it is. Figure out your way.
Yeah.
I know my way. I just get up in the middle of the night and buy the ticket.
That is true.
Wherever feels like it's calling my name, that's where I'm going.
That is true.
I don't second think it. I have friends who I talk over certain destinations with.
Yeah.
And we compare them. But that's it. I buy the ticket, I don't feel like it.
Look here, you just lit a fire under a lot of people's behinds right now, okay? Including mine. I'm gonna give you the satisfaction, including mine.
Plane there for tech. When I take taxi. Take a plane. Take your plane. Save the Uber money and take the bus. By the end of the month, you must have a plane tickets.
No, but honestly though, stop by the fast food, stop wasting money on unnecessary experiences and temporary happiness, and put that towards these life-fulfilling experiences.
Experiencing
life.
Completely different perspective.
That's the Roushelle Reign gospel, y'all.
By the Bible.
Hallelujah. God is good all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And you just pray and just make sure to say, like, you know where your center is. You know where home is. You know where your center is. And wherever you go around those two, you will be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the main thing.
Roushelle, I'm going to migrate into another question right now because you're kind of in this zone and I want to keep you there. But this question also kind of signifies the end of the podcast, but regardless. You never got to answer this question first time around, and I can't wait to hear your answer now. What does it mean to be unapologetically Roushelle? And not Roushelle Reign, the person behind the brand and the website. When the computer goes down, when it's just you, what does it mean to be Roushelle?
Yeah.
Unapologetically.
Silly.
Oh.
Funny. And just bold. Radiant. Very radiant. I'm always just in my own little performance world.
Yes.
Everybody should know this by now. But again, what you said, Roushelle Reign with the iron fist, the stern stance, and the boss this and da 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 da, still being funny. But then when I take that coat off, I be chilling. I like laid back luxury. So things are at a certain standard, but I don't need to push up my chest about it.
No.
That's my everyday vibe. I'm always going to pay attention to aesthetics. Things I don't apologize about. Whatever comes out of my mouth, take it. I am very blunt. I don't mince my words. I probably tried and it doesn't work well. It really doesn't.
No.
And I find it I don't like to be, is it ingenuine, disingenuine, ungenuine?
Disingenuine, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I think it's disingenuine. I don't like to not be genuine about something. So when I do. I go all out for whoever it is.
It's all or nothing.
But now this unapologetical Roushelle is only going all out for she. So Roushelle has changed this year.
Mic drop.
It is me and me alone.
And that's okay.
I is not suffering for nobody. Unless I'm a mother or my father. Me not suffer for nobody. That's one thing I have made a decision on. Right? So there's different parts of how I'm being me.
Yes.
And it's okay for my big, bright, bold personality to not want to be big, bright, bold today. I just want to observe. I'm going to observe today. It's okay to have dimensions of your soul.
Yep.
Right? And it's okay to want more. It's okay to take up space. Come here, take up everybody's space. I'm 7 feet tall. It's okay. It is so okay for you to do what you want to do. And like, I stop ask questions. Like, just do what you want to do. If you don't like it, that's your business. I'm going to always be understanding. I'm going to always think about others, but no longer will I put anyone first. Business or personal.
No one goes above yourself.
Unless I Jesus.
What a mighty God we serve. Shabba-dabba-da.
You understand? So I think, not that I think, I believe and I feel that becoming unapologetically Roushelle is still in the making. Because I am subtracting things that are not meant for me. Yes. And adding what should. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I say what just stuck out to me is that you said unapologetically Roushelle's in the making. I have a lot of people, and that's not to, knock on whatever people said, but sometimes when people answer, they feel like they have to have everything.
Oh, yeah.
This is where I am now. But it's okay to be in development.
Yeah, I used to definitely be like that. Definitely. Roushelle always have everything figured out. Nope. And everybody would say, yeah, Roushelle have that figured out a long time. Oh, yeah, Roushelle. She knows what she had a long time.
A long time.
And it could be because, may sound weird, but it's like I see myself.
Like an out-of-body experience?
Yeah, I see myself. So I don't know what occurred, or how I found the name, or how I found the word, or whatever it is when I was 10. But all I knew, I wanted to be a conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
And I repeat that every year. And I don't know if it's because, and I don't know if now I come up with so many ideas now because I always find the gaps in industries.
Oh.
I have a thing where I see everybody doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I say, oh, so nobody's doing that? Nobody wants to do that? Because there's money in that.
Yeah.
I'm very good at pinpointing what's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned that conglomerates fill in the gaps. And they multiply things. So they could be one company producing 5 of the same products, and then have a fill in the gap product at a triple the price.
That part.
So it's like, again, becoming. And I am okay that I am the business brain in a lot of my groups and friendships and communities. I'm okay with working business 24/7.
Yeah. That's your thing.
That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is my thing. I used to be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm gonna, stop doing this. Da, 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 da. No, babe. If you want me, you have to take all of me.
You're not gonna lower yourself for nobody.
Exactly. As long as I see something within you, I'm gonna be like, so you're gonna make use of that because you can make an extra $5,000 a month.
Yep.
And it helps me, the other side of me. I would say like the Sasha Fierce to my Beyonce.
Yes.
It helps the other side of me to do my job very well.
Mm-hmm.
As I pinpoint what you could do that your competitors aren't doing. I know how to carve you to stand out versus everybody else.
Yep.
Right? I have a track record to prove it.
That part.
I've done so myself with, I'm not an extreme marketer.
Mm-mm.
But I'm able to carve out me versus everybody else.
Yeah.
Even if there's 100 people and only 50 people know me, I stand out amongst the rest.
Mm-hmm.
I was also raised like that. So that may not be something what everybody can learn because I was raised in it. So
that was also instilled in you.
Yeah. So it's also a bit different for me. But I would say becoming Roushelle is what's unapologetical right now.
Look pun good buddy girl. I'm gonna end it right there. No, I'm not lie. I'm ending it right there because that I need people to sit, let it simmer, digest it, like it's a good cup of peppermint tea.
Yeah, make it sit up in your chest and clear it.
Clear it up real nice. Roushelle, she's the only one who can really get me talk my very bad Canadian patois, by the way. Roushelle, right? I know. Look, y'all, I'm of Jamaican descent. I was not born there, but I wish I was. I wish I was.
It's all right. It's all good. It runs through your veins.
It's all right. It's all right. No, I'm not going to say. Roushelle, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Kamsahamnida for having me.
Please, before we go, drop all your socials, your links, your business, everything. One more time for people then.
ROUSHELLEREIGN. hello@RoushelleReign.com. RoushelleReign.com and Roushelle Reign on every single platform. Masoon join TikTok.
Look here. You know how long I am waiting on this TikTok on the clock. Before I end it off, I had one more bonus question for you because you take some fire pictures, but not everyone, can afford a photographer sometimes. And I know you do a lot of your shots yourself. So how do you take your pictures when ain't nobody else there?
Posing is kind of my thing. And
kind of
in there.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So posing is my thing. And from the model background, the pageant background, you have to know how you look without seeing yourself. If you train yourself on how you look without seeing yourself, it's easier to take more pictures. Right? Mm-hmm. That's one thing. I have a tripod and remote thingy. There is nobody there unless I see somebody and them kind and them have a good energy. I'll be like, oh, can you take a picture for me, please? Like, I'll do that to moms that have kids. I'm like, oh, can you take a picture for me, please? And she's like, oh, sure, you're so cute. Oh my God, thanks. And then she took my picture, right? Very rarely do I ask a guy to take my picture. But it's mainly just the timer, or I have sometimes I don't remember to bring it with me because it's in my travel bag, but like sometimes I don't remember to take it out. Yeah. Or the remote. And that's it. I'm a tripod. And sometimes I don't even have my tripod because sometimes I just can't bother walking a big nothing. I just want like a cute handbag. And I will plop it up on something and just print my picture. Yeah, that's it. There's hardly anybody there unless I hired a photographer, unless a friend is with me. Why is everybody asking me this question?
Because them pictures are fire.
What pictures are you talking about?
Have you seen your Instagram?
Yes, but some of them are very much me hiring a photographer.
And some of them are very much you on your own.
A tripod. Honestly, guys, I will show you.
I have a tripod for years. My picture don't look that good.
Because my angle them different, girl. I'm just keep moving.
So can we get a YouTube video teaching us about our angles? Thanks. No, you don't. No, thank you. That's on your lineup. No. That's on your lineup for your content calendar. Thank you. And that ends today's episode. Please make sure to follow Roushelle Reign, support Black-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, Black Girl Magic. Check out her Instagram so you can see the pictures I'm talking about. I'll be waiting for my crash course on YouTube. Ladies, and I know there's some of you gentlemen out there who listen, thank you so much for joining us once again. Roushelle, my sister, I love you. Thank you so much for the talks, the lessons, just everything in between, whether it's on screen or off screen.
Welcome.
You have my heart. You have my heart.
You have mine too.
Not a lot of people can say that. You have my heart. I'm a ride for her. Some of the rest of y'all questionable. I'm a ride for her though. Facts. I saw the things besides. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Toodles.